What's good, ladies and gents? It's your guy Lord Dwelly. I hope you guys are doing great. I really miss you all, by the way. Been busy with the identification process for the YouTube channel. Had to take pictures all over and over again of the ID in order to get the third parameter functional once again. I didn't have any exams. It was just the identification process was under examination. I'm sure you guys already figured it out. I really miss you all. I'll be doing a few reviews before resuming where I left off with the request week. It will be my honor to continue where I left off. I believe I still have a reaction mic that you've asked me. I'll compile them, all three of them into one. As for yours, Team Forward, I believe you asked me an awesome on Sarita and Maria. I'll do Sarita first, as you've asked me, my guy. It will be my honor and my pleasure. As for you two, boss, I believe you said Bronson Reed you prefer him to be the next sucks. Well, I'll be enjoying grilling this fat neck beer, this tribal thief. More like tribal bitch. Tribal neck beer. I'll be enjoying grilling this jobber. I got no other options. Yeah, fatty, you suck ass. Anyway, let's go do this raw review, which will be a pretty... I'll try to make it as quick as possible. Alright, here we go. First off, we open up with Flimsy Phil doing his entrance and sucking himself off. Yeah, congrats, you won the championship. Congrats. And what are you gonna do? We've already guessed it. He's gonna hog all the glory and do his prima donna, face all kinds of jobbers, delude himself like, yeah, I'm a badass. I defeated J.D. McDonough, Finn Balor. Yeah. He's gonna delude himself in some sort of a delirium, like he's some sort of an edgy badass, even though he can't last 5 minutes without gassing out. And it's been shown multiple times. And in his promo, I believe he was like mentioning people like AJ Styles, John Cena also, I believe. Why would John Cena give a fuck about that championship knowing how he's been treated? Why would he give a fuck? He's like, oh, dude, just get me out of there. My retirement tour has been a total mess. Get me the fuck out of there. I'll be cordial enough so you don't fuck me that much, you sack of shit. That's how he's thinking. He doesn't give a fuck anymore. If it was under Vince, he would have done a great job. But under Noseman, he's like, whatever. Same as Brock Lesnar. Why do you think Brock Lesnar, you think he's going to care? Just pay me my money and I'll leave. That's what Brock's going to do. He doesn't care anymore. But if it was under Vince, you'd see good versions out of those guys. Same as the Drew McIntyre and all. Because you'd have to... Just a side note, by the way, to explain to some of you that will say that it's incompetence. No, Noseman is not an incompetent. It's his pettiness, vindictive nature, and him being a conniving and malicious person. Because you'd have to understand something. The Vince guys, whether they can be a John Cena, a Randy Orton, a Brock Lesnar, etc., etc., or the archetype that Vince likes, exposes that his black and gold mediocrities are absolute failures, and you know how Noseman is. He can't take accountability. If you say something that goes against his way, oh no, I'm gonna bury you, you're not kissing my ass. You know how insecure and petty he is. So he's gonna do that. It's not incompetence and all. It's malicious attempts. Anyway, let's continue about the part where Punk doing his prima donna. And as you guessed it, Logan Paul shows up. And Paul throws his temper tantrum. No, no, no. Ah! Yeah, because you know Logan Paul would kick your ass. That's why. No, you don't want to get your ass kicked. You want to hog all the glory. And yeah, I remember how you were holding that championship. I laughed at you. God, I was saying like, God, what a bitch. He can't be serious. He's a 40-year-old man. Hugging a title that was held by mediocrities. He can't be serious. Anyway. And after that, you guessed it, the Jism shows up. The group that has no rhyme or reason to be together shows up. Braun has every right to be pissed off and should be going and after that title again. And wait a second, if I do remember correctly, wasn't LA Knight supposed to challenge the winner? Where's LA Knight? First inconsistency on that show. Wasn't LA Knight supposed to challenge for the title? Yet those men will say, stories, let's get blah, 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 blah. You lying sack of shit. Your lies are flagrant. It doesn't take a genius to understand, to see through them. You big-nosed cuck. Anyway, let's resume. And as you guessed it, it's gonna lead to a brawl once again. Haven't we seen those already? Gee, I wonder. And you can guess it. Logan's gonna leave and then pretend to help CM Punk and all, but you'll see later on another inconsistency that doesn't make any sense. But no, those men will blame it on AI and blah 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 blah. No. I'll say it again, and I've said it before. As long as you give specifications to AI in order to book a show, it will give you according to those. Let's say you ask AI, book me a show, Ruthless Aggression era style, or an Attitude era style. It can book you such a show. But no, knowing how much of a mark you are, Noseman, and those cretins around you, I wouldn't say flunkies, they're yes men cretins, they're gonna say, yeah, work rate. Because you have imbeciles like Bully Ray and all on your team. Mark-minded people to kiss your ass. Anyway. After that we get to a match that I fast forward through it. To be honest, I didn't really give a shit about it. Judgment Day, aka Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Pinrez, that absolute schmuck that hogs a roster spot, even though, as TWRP said it before, Fallon Henley cut a way better promo when she was a mid-card champion. Why isn't Fallon on the main roster? Or like a Mariah May or someone of that caliber who actually can talk on the mic and understands things. No, Roxanne only work rate, flips and blah blah blah. Zero personality, zero charisma, zero promo skills. Nothing. Nothing of good values. Losing 90% of the time. Once every blue moon gets a win, we're supposed to believe Roxanne Perez is amazing. A prodigy, that yet your name is contradictory. Just like your hero, the Flimsy Phil. You love to contradict yourself, don't you? You lost cause. Anyway, I don't give a crap about it. And the sad thing is, you know what's gonna lead to? A friendship and betrayal between Nikki Bella and Stephanie Jobert. Even though Nikki is the way better one than out of all of those, and looks better even though she's in her 40s. What should that tell you, ladies? Isn't it sad that the older divas like Nikki, Lita, Trish and all are better looking than you people? Gee, I wonder why. And after that we get to a jobber match. And axiomatically, without watching, you can already guess. Penta, Ciro Mierdo versus El Grande Pendejo or El Grande Puto or whatever the fuck you want to call him. Let me know how you'd like us to call El Grande Americano. El Grande Pendejo or El Grande Puto or El Grande Jobert or whatever the fuck. You pick, it will be my pleasure. Alright? Anyway, you can already guess it. Penta's gonna win because El Grande Americano and all those gimps around him are nothing more than a bunch of jobbers. So of course Penta's gonna win. He's less of a jobber than them. And after that you get to a confrontation between Rey and Dominic. And kudos for Rey Mysterio for looking in great shape and carrying the Luchador division. And he is the king of luchadors, because the thing about Rey Mysterio, I've always given him props for it, is that he's a smart person, he understands the business, he can talk on the mic, he can work a safe style, looks in great shape, and understands character work and all. Kudos for him. Dominic, you too, you're a smart guy, you understand the business and all. I'll give you credit for that one, and I've given you credit for it multiple times. At least you're trying to be your own man and all. I've given you credit for it. But in all honesty, Tom, why would you think Ray should be jealous of you? He's way better than you in every reasonable metric. And put on some work, Dom. At least some calisthenics and all. The bare minimum. Alright? You can do like pull-ups, push-ups, dips and all. At the very minimum. Alright? You should be doing those, Dom. It's my advice for you. Otherwise, you understand the thing, and I'll give you credit. Because size do matter. Alright? In terms of the character that you're playing. And after that, I believe there was a part, or was it after or before, I don't really remember. Becky hijacking the show and getting really angry. Character-wise, knowing the events that she's been going through, it's understandable, storyline-wise, and at least I'll give you credit, Rebecca. You're doing this character that you're losing your mind. You're doing it greatly, Becky. I'll give you credit. Kudos for you, Rebecca. And yes, as for Maxine and all, yes, she improved in ring-wise because Natalia is a competent trainer. I said it before, but personality-wise, promo skills and blah blah blah, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Yeah, she's just a work rate, blah blah blah. Other than that, I don't see anything. If Becky was to lose the belt, it should be to someone that at least knows how to talk on the mic and blah blah blah. As an example, someone that you can fix, an easy fix. Someone like Alera, for example. She's pretty good looking and she's a well-educated lady. You can fix two things. A character change, like have her go through this dilemma after the loss to Becky and blah 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 blah, and all the while improving her promo skills. There you go. You can get a star from there. At least someone who you can rely on. As an example, I'm just saying. But no, you know how they're gonna go. They're gonna hyper obsess over Maxine, and if in a few months those IWC neckbeards are gonna turn on her. Anyway, in all honesty, I'd rather Becky keep the championship for all I care at this point. Nothing against you, Maxine, but I don't see anything promo-wise at all from you. Sure, you have improved and all. I'll give you credit, but other than that, I don't see anything. After that, we get to a match, I believe, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Judgment Day. And Judgment Day, by Judgment Day, I mean JD McDonald and Finn Balor. I know it's Finn Balor, but I call him Finn Balor because all he does is take the pin. Like the jobber that he is, damn it. Like the jobber that he is, damn it. I had to do a Vince McMahon for that one. And during the match, as you can already guess, the Judgment Day shenanigan, Dirty Dom is gonna interfere and blah blah blah. And Sheamus gets rid of him so that Dragon Lee and AJ Styles can get the win. Which makes me wonder, by the way, why did Sheamus lose to JD McDonough? He should have been squashing both him and Finn Balor. Pinned him with one leg. That's so tall. Damn it! The kids will love it. And which makes me wonder already about the John Cena's final opponent. I'd like to talk about it really quick. You can already guess it how Noseman's gonna do it. Tournament. Here's how you should have done the John Cena retirement tour. Yes, you can build it on a nostalgia thing. Revisit, like, let's say, storyline-wise, the nostalgia parts between, like, let's say, Cena and Orton, Cena and Punk. You could even get Edge for a match or something, or like for one night. You can even get him from just for a night, or like, let's say, Lesnar. You can use him for like a quick recap or someone of that caliber, and from there you can establish a young one that's getting fed up with all those new ones and blah blah blah, and go from there. But no, book him a heel, no, cause I gotta keep Cody Rhodes a face. No, Cody is a living contradiction, a hypocrite, and a cuckold. Because you see him being a face yet doing heel stuff. Which is it, you cuck? As I've said it before, are you a serious gentleman? or a vagabond degenerate. You can't be both. It doesn't make sense, Cody. Anyway, let's go back to it. And I believe also, I guess I've missed the match. Guess I've missed it. I believe it was Bailey and Lyra versus the Kabuki Warriors. Dude, overall, I fast forward through the match, and the end of it, I believe, leads with Lyra getting stumped into Bailey, and Asuka doing the Asuka lock, and Lyra taps in order for the team of the Kabuki Warriors to win. And Kairi and Asuka were preparing for a post attack on Lyra, and you can already guess it. Charlotte and Alexa interfere, and the Kabuki Warriors will run away, which is gonna set up to Asuka and Kairi versus Charlotte and Alexa. And that team of Charlotte and Alexa, by the way, it's only a matter of when friendship and betrayal is gonna come. It's obvious, because that's how Noseman knows how to do. I'll resume his algorithm pretty quick. It consists of friendship and betrayal, cheap up and flop, start and stop, tournament, rinse and repeat. That's all I know how to do. Oh, I forgot. Also, there's another part I forgot. Flagrant lies. That's Noseman's algorithm, by the way. To those of you that understand science, computer, programming, etc., that's the algorithm that he goes by, and he does it or repeat an infinite amount of times. Now I believe already we're at the main event. The Chisholm versus Lame Event Jay Buzo and Flimsy Phil. The match was going whatever, the usual stuff. Like we haven't seen it all before. It's a rinse and repeat of something that's been happening for like a few months already. And it ends up in a double countout, which means a draw. No winner, no loser. They both were counted out. And you can guess it. A brawl once again! Oh, haven't we seen it all before? And from there, you'll have Logan Paul come back, pretending to, let's say, help CM Punk. And then he attacks him and joins the Vision. Another inconsistency. Why should he be joining the Vision when they attacked him previously? Why? Because Noseman, he's going to say, I gotta book a team, forgot Team Division versus Team CM Punk. No! Logan Paul has no rhyme or reason of being on that team. What you're doing is basically outshadowing Braun Breaker, like my guy King Mike said it. Shout out to you, Mike, and thank you for the love. I'd like to clarify something about last night on the chat about Lyra. I don't hate her. On the contrary, I believe she can be fixed properly if you improve her promo skills and you improve her acting abilities. These are the two things that she needs to improve on, as well as a character that can be understandable, that can be relatable. These are the things, if you can put them on her, you can rely on her, because at least she keeps her nose clean, she's a well-mannered lady and all. And she's not a bad-looking chick. That's what I was saying, Mike. I'm pretty sure you've understood it, bro. And thank you for the love, by the way. God bless you, my guy. Just I wanted to clarify that part. Anyway, another inconsistency, as I was saying previously. Why would Logan Paul need to join that team when he got attacked earlier on the show? Another inconsistency that doesn't make any sense. Because by doing so, you're outshadowing Braun Breaker once again. Because the main reason, if you wanted to establish, as I've said it before, a quote-unquote remake of Evolution, quote-unquote, yeah, you wanted to put Seth Rollins as a Triple H, even though it doesn't rhyme or have any sense. Because Seth Rollins and Triple H, in terms of talents back then, no point of comparison. You had a masculine dude and a flaming queer. That's already a flaw. Second, you have a Braun Breaker You wanted to like establish him as someone? Could have established him as a Batista archetype, as I said it on the Awesome on Braun Breaker. You should have established him as such. As for Bronson Reed, why the fuck is he even here? That mediocrity doesn't belong. He should have been fired. He sucks ass. He offers nothing. I'll do it. Tsunami. Go lose some weight, you fat ass land whale. Or like feud with Kevin Owens for all I care. The battle of the fat asses. Anyway, you could have used someone like an Austin Theory. Someone that you could present as a Randy Orton archetype. I'm saying an archetype, which means present him as such. Or like use Randy Orton as a template in order to create something out of Austin Theory. I'm just saying. Braun Breaker use traits that he has a bit of in common with a Batista type and go from there. Is it that hard to understand, Noseman? No. I'll mimic what he's gonna say axiomatically.
No, you don't understand. No, it's gotta be about. I gotta favor Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed is my favorite. He's a part of Wack and Old. Braun is an NXT 2.0 guy. No, he represents. He destroyed my black and gold. No.
But you petty moron. Do you realize that by doing so, you're only destroying your company, you petty moron. And that's what I've always given credit to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah, you can say he's petty, he has his issues, alright? Vince is not perfect, but at least Vince would be putting his ego to the side if it meant the company would get a benefit. But Noseman, no. As I've said it before, his petty nature, his vindictive side, his conniving and malicious behaviors towards the Vince guys and all, is because he knows those guys exposed that his NXT Black and Gold are the absolute failures. Those NXT Black and Gold mediocrities are the absolute failures that they are, and he cannot handle that evidence. So that's why, instead of taking accountability like every man should, no, he throws tantrums and jobs them out. Petty, stupid man. Anyway, overall, I think that's about it for this Raw review. I'll be doing later on maybe a Saturday Night Slam event and SmackDown review combined into one. And I'll be resuming from there, once I finish those two reviews, I'll be resuming the requests. It will be my honor. I believe there is Mike, your reaction. I'll compile them as well. All three parts into one. Team Forward, you chose the Sarita as an awesome. And then Maria. I'll do Sarita first, and then Maria. It will be my pleasure. As for you, Mr. Quake, I believe you asked me a sucks on Masha Slamovich. I'll do a sucks on Masha Slamovich, and I'll try to hold up so I don't puke again. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this Raw review. Make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. And with that being said, and if you have any requests, as usual, you know how it goes. Either in the comment section down below, or hit me up on Twitter, which is available in the description. And for your request, you'll get a shout out. So with that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace out. See you next time.